know I'm wearing gloves.
Yeah.
I'm well aware.
All right.
Well aware. A big fan of Streets of Rage, mate.
Yeah.
Which I looked up before the show.
Yeah.
And forgot
Axel?
there was like... Yeah, Axel. I was like, I knew Axel, but I was like, who are the other guys? And then there's like
Blaze?
Max, Power, Blaze, and small orphaned ethnic child. It's like, what? It's just a child. Yeah, send in the slave labour. Send in the ethnic minority children. Send them into fights. All right. Completely forgot about that.
I used to love Streets of Rage. Correction.
Yeah.
I loved the first 3 levels of Streets of Rage because I don't think I ever got past that.
I think I got pretty far, but I can't remember how far. But yeah, that was one of those Sega games where the soundtrack was just great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And like just the opening when it's like it's doing the whole Star Wars text flying through the sky thing with the city in the background. Da 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 da. It's like this is sick.
And then
I'll just watch this.
Just punching arcade machines and traffic cones. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, an apple. Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I'm worse for wear for health this week again.
Yeah.
But the gloves specifically, I've been talking about it for I think nearly a year now. But yeah, the joint pain is getting worse and worse. And managed to get through to a doctor this morning eventually, and they think it's arthritis. And I said, well, you thought it was arthritis last time, and then you did a test, and the test said it's not arthritis. And she said, yeah, but they can be wrong. Like, oh, okay then.
So why bother?
Well, let's go get more tests.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are compression gloves that they basically strangle the pain out of my hands or something like that.
Okay.
You wear them on planes, you like compression socks on planes.
Yeah.
It's like that, but hands.
And is there anything about it that would lessen with like, if your diabetes was less severe, or if you lost weight, or like anything like that?
No, I've looked a little bit into it. It's an autoimmune disease. Specifically, rheumatoid arthritis is apparently
Right.
the deal. And they said that, well, it's what is the suspicion again. And apparently that can be genetic, and it's kind of not sure what it is. So look into it a little bit more. But I think some things I've read have said the symptoms do go away. And I think I'm at the beginning of it. But like, yeah, the biggest thing has been, it started off with just pain in joints, then it turned into pain and numbness, and then it became just numbness. So like, I can't really feel like my left shin anymore.
Ugh.
Like, like just some fingers are just like, oh, they don't. I don't touch many things. I'm not that in touch with stuff, but it's like, yeah, it's one of those things you go like, oh, you should probably have a look at this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind losing a leg, but like, because I saw there's like these collapsible wheelchairs you can get now that sold like a briefcase, like fucking Professor X or some shit. But
Right.
that's pretty cool.
But what's the point?
Well, because then you can put it in your car, you can put it in your overhead locker on a plane.
Right. I was gonna say, like, well, now I feel like using my wheelchair, so I'll just unpack my wheelchair. How did you get here?
Well, it's just easier. I like the idea of, what was it? Was it Transformers or something? Where they threw something and it unpacked and built into something.
What? Wheelchair.
Wheelchair! Oh, like everyone's like, oh, and then, oh, that's quite sad, actually. Yeah. I struggled to go uphill on feet, so I decided to do this. But yeah, wearing compression gloves, and then, yeah, there's fucking medication again.
Is it like, the vomit stuff?
Yeah, the nausea, nightmare stuff. Like, at the moment, it's now a toss-up between... I think I just need to drink a lot of water. But when you're nauseous, if you drink water too quickly, you get more nauseous.
Yeah.
So my water has gone down, which means my dehydration has gone way up. So I'm either dehydrated or nauseous. And it's trying to find balance.
An even kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do I want to feel cotton-mouthed or do I want to feel seasick? Oh, I'll get some gloves. That'd be fine. Yeah. And then fuck the edit last week, man. Jesus Christ.
Why?
It's the second time it's happened. I don't know what it is. But it replaced the audio from my side with that of the jungle. So when I exported it, it happens sometimes in the edit, and I don't know why, but I think it like slow motions it. But I swear, and I might just have an overactive imagination, but I can hear like, and then, but it's like clicks and shit as well, and I'm like, what?
It sounds like it's slowing you down. It could be that you've exported it again.
The cause.
The what?
The caw.
Yeah.
That's not slowed down, mate.
No, slow motion caw.
It's the man. They're cracking down on the show.
Yeah. Normally it's when the edit's forcing. If you got two things that are recorded at different frame rates and it's trying to get them both in sync, but we're both at 25.
That I think at a different level than you, not necessarily higher.
No, just different.
No? Okay.
Not better, just different.
Yeah, just wrong. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
What was the other?
But if you got it fixed, then that's not what it is.
Yeah, I just import it again and it works. And then I have to resync it all up and shit. And then I think I found out why we were being on YouTube's playlists shit.
All right.
Do you remember? You might know. It's there was an old clip mentioned on Bill Burr's Monday Morning podcast about like an episode of Wife Swap that he really liked, and there's a moment in it that he finds really funny.
Right.
And it's a family of pirates swap wives with a family of normal people, and the pirate family. Like the guy was like encouraged to go to an office job or something, so he's in the office job as a pirate, and he has an argument with his new wife, and he sat in a bathtub, like a tin bathtub outside, and he just goes, "That was the most soul destroying 4 hours of my life, of my life." And I accidentally added that to our playlist of full episodes. So I think it coincides. I've removed it now, so we'll see what happens. But it coincides with when we started getting loads of more YouTube views. Oh, pirate in a bath, and then an hour and a half of us talking bollocks. Right. My dog's having a strop as well in the background because I know that she knows where the chicken wing bones are in my living room.
Right.
And she wants. Last week or the week before, she got into the living room and ate them while I was recording. So now she's like, he's recording again. I can go get those other chicken bones.
Right.
I'm basically saying no. So she's having a bit of a strop.
No.
But yeah, pirate in the bath. Suddenly, maybe we can thank it for all of its Mary's misadventures.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that makes more sense. It makes more sense that pirates in a bath yelling at wife is more of a porn than ours, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe we should do that more often.
Just add random videos and sneak people in.
We have a lot of trouble figuring out kind of like who our audience are and like where we cross over. If we just kind of pick shit at random, like we'd find like a popular tapestry video and whack that in our playlist and just see if anyone sticks.
Yeah,
just go through different shit every week.
We'll go through like relaxing baptisms and then link it to our violent baptisms.
Yeah.
Just try and figure out what's going on. Oh, it could be that. It could just be coincidence, but I just noticed that was there when I was tidying up a bunch of shit. Wait, no wings. None. Gone. But yeah, this is episode 230. Do an intro, why not? 230. We're on YouTube. If you're just listening to us, you want to see our faces and send us some hate mail, go along. Or if you're a Russian person, just throwing in a random timestamp. That seems to be quite common at the moment.
Really?
I think it's like, bots just throwing up timestamps and links to other sites.
As a signal to other bots, like, hey guys, watch this bit here. Why are you watching that bit there?
It's been flagged for Putin or some shit. But we're on YouTube if you want to give us a thing, and we're on social media where we might actually have something happening because Steve might be doing something. I'm going to allude to that. Did you do anything? I can't remember. I saw the product.
Yeah. No, I've made a couple. I haven't posted anything because I didn't want to shove stuff out without a yay or a nay, or if there's anything that needs changing or anything like that.
Yay!
All right, fair enough. Yeah, because I
gave some criticism, not criticism. It's like some feedback.
It's fine. Well, there'll have been reels and whatever else then by the time this episode comes out. In that case. Because I found like 5 or 6 different bits from 229 to turn into those little
with some proper YouTuber zooms.
Yeah,
stylish.
Just
air horns, maybe. Who knows?
Sound effects.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, it's just a bit of fun. It's just stuff that we haven't really played with before. It doesn't work for long form stuff because it's too much fucking work. But for like little 15, 20 second clips, it's quite fun.
Yeah. And then as soon as that's the nice way to say this. Everything's cool. Everything's always been cool. But as soon as there was like, there's a team project that we need to work on you require things from me, I require things from you, then the professionalism starts to come back.
Yeah.
In terms of editing. Because before it was like, I could just edit it 20 seconds before it's due to
This
release.
is fine. This will work.
And then
This
there's an
always
export
works.
issue and it's fucked. And then there's this and it's fucked. Whereas if it's like, oh, Steve needs some time to do something, I'll get up by this date. And then it becomes a professional thing. So it's a healthy, good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
So yeah. That's episode 230. Give us a watch. Pulling Teeth Pods and or Pulling Teeth Podcast.
.com.
Depending on where you go. Twitter, we're Pulling Teeth Pod, right?
Yeah.
And Instagram.
On socials, we're
Pod.
Pulling Teeth Pod.
But on Facebook, we're Pulling Teeth Podcast.
Are we?
I don't remember.
I don't.
search for me or Axel, and our social medias will probably come up.
I don't go on Facebook anymore.
No.
We have a presence. It's a very dusty presence, but it's there.
Yeah. I left it to a robot. I was like, oh, the robot will do it. And then I couldn't figure out the robot. So I just
I lost the password to the robot. And
well, I was just like, it's something so simple. I just want to... I did loads of admin shit for the podcast as well, but every time I update the website, for example, it would be cool for it to notify all our social media just to send it. Yeah. It was just like, oh, that seems like a really simple, obvious thing that people already have. But it's like, oh, I've got to write it myself. That's a bitch. But I'll get around to it. But yeah, we're on social media and all that kind of stuff. How are you, Steve?
I am all right. I've got 2 bullets for
2 bullets.
Two bullet points for the how am I, because
all right.
Answering off the top of my head is apparently too taxing for me.
Gotta prepare that alibi.
Yeah. Started eating mushrooms, which has been a big bone of contention for a very long time.
Yeah, like, fair enough. What prompted this?
We were going to it was after going to market, and I was like, well, if we're going there again, maybe
I might as well eat mushrooms.
Maybe mushrooms like fresher are nicer, but it's also goes back to that whole thing of like, I'm too old to be like, oh, I don't like something. It's like, just put it on your plate and fucking eat it. Like just grow up and fucking deal with it, and I have, and it's been fine. Like, it is that. See, I don't think I'd order like a mushroom dish, but it's fine if they're chunky and in things. Like, it doesn't matter. It's like you and the eggs thing again. It's like you just have this thing from when you're a kid. Yeah,
that example is like you've decided you don't like something 8 years ago or when you're a kid, and for some reason you still believe it.
Yeah.
I got over it because I was poor. Like, I was just at uni, I was just broke. Like, the whole uni thing was, I ate an onion for dinner just as an apple once, and I was like, well, if I can eat this and I'm fine, I can eat all food, right?
Yeah.
And then like I'd go to people's houses and they'd cook breakfast, and I'd be like, this is great. Then like whatever it is, it's hot food.
Yeah.
So I'll eat it and enjoy it. But that's what broke it through for me. Grow up and eat your mushrooms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember that phrase?
And it just like, I had the incident the other week where I was like, I have to throw away these biscuits because they're making me soft. And now I'm like, well, I have to throw away these stupid ideas of what I like and what I don't like because they're making me soft and stopping me from, I don't know, experiencing the world in the way that it should be experienced and trying new things. Mushrooms aren't new things, but newish.
And you don't have to be weird. You don't have to be hard. Like, you don't have to be a tough person who like, I eat all my mushrooms. I'm never ever going to be a tough person. Like, ever. I've given up that dream. Well, you've started eating mushrooms.
But, well,
that's pretty tough.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not something that nomads and regular vegans have been doing for thousands of years.
Regular vegans.
There's no such thing. It's an oxymoron. But
diet vegans.
Yeah.
But sugar-free vegans.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I joined TikTok as well. That's a confusing revolution.
You've joined it.
Yeah.
As in you're... as in you're posting to it.
Yeah, well, I went to post, like, because I've been making these like short form things for the business side of things, which are kind of like interesting social sharey kind of videos. Like so I was like, well, I've been doing that on Insta, may as well dump them on TikTok as well. And I went on there, and it is a minefield of dopamine. Like, it's one of those things. I didn't get it before, and like I didn't get like why everyone was on it, and I didn't get the stupid dances, and in fairness, I still don't. But once the algorithm figures out what you like, it just hooks you and it keeps you there for hours. And like I already had this problem with Facebook, which is why I fucking switched it off. It's like I can't listen to these people talk about shit they don't understand anymore. Like I can't do it. But the TikTok thing is like, I don't have as much a problem with it because it's people making funny shit. Like I can't really complain about that. And now this algorithm is feeding me shit that's making me laugh. That's like
well, I spoke about it a long time ago when I first joined. I think we've got a podcast TikTok because I started looking at some a long time ago.
Oh.
But there's a podcast called Your Mum's House Podcast with Christina Pajitsky who has a amazing algorithm for TikTok, which is just absolute psychopathic normal people, because anybody can go on it. So you'll get people being like, just a whole TikTok that's just like, "Fuck you, Brenda. I don't give a shit," and that's it. Or just like the weird, the weird and wonderful stuff where, you know, just anybody goes on to do anything. So there'll be like somebody talking about how their love of superhero toys or something, but it's like quite crushingly depressing.
Yeah.
All that kind of random shit. And I played around with my algorithm, and I found that guy who just kept on talking about his dead sister. No wings, dog. No wings. So, like, yeah, the algorithm has both good and evil qualities, I think.
I haven't struck on the evil things yet, and it hasn't quite got me because it does keep that I still get weird dances and women doing makeup tutorials for some reason. But like it's getting there. I found a funny Irish guy. Watched a load of his shit. Yeah, but I've in the space of a week I've started 2 channels. One a business side of things and one a stupid side of things, where I started posting those weird 360 videos that I was making, and like I want to see kind of like what each channel sort of starts pushing my way, like starts thinking that I like, and then because I feel like it'll divide my personality somewhat.
To funny or business.
Well, yeah. It's like it's gonna make me schizophrenic.
Good.
Yeah. 2021.
2021. Time to start splitting the Steve.
Yeah. Yeah.
1945 was the atom. 2021 is the Steve.
Me. Yeah. Via some weird
Steve
app.
Dave. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
So yeah, mushrooms and TikTok.
Yeah.
Good.
We got
both of them grow in the darkness.
that was it. That was it this week. We got the we got the lockdown news, or whatever you can call that shit, of all the list of dates as to when things might be happening. Still might be.
Right. I haven't paid any attention to it at all.
No,
is anything interesting happening? When are the gyms opening up?
I think potentially April.
April.
That's
Cure.
It's still fucking ages away. Everything's like, but true. I said to Vix, like, I wouldn't have been happy with anything that they said unless they said everything is opening and going back to normal tomorrow, and we're forgetting any of this stupid shit ever happened. Like, yeah. I don't think they could have pleased me in any way, shape, or form.
Well, I got my letter like telling me I can now book a vaccination.
Yeah.
They said now that Steve is safe, everyone else can get it. So like. Yeah, gonna go and get that done, and apparently that's gonna make a big difference. But there are lots of I was thinking like it's probably going to be the same as not in this case, but medical questionnaires are going to be really flawed, right? Because at one point everybody said they smoked, and then people stopped smoking, and some people didn't. But then they told people that they don't smoke. Yeah, so they'll be like, oh. Nobody smokes anymore. Meanwhile, loads of people are smoking outside. I wonder if it could be the same thing as Coronavax's vaccine. Wasn't there like going to be like a holiday scheme where only if you were vaccinated you were allowed on like certain holiday venues or something like that?
Potentially. I mean, a business can decide whatever it wants, as far as I'm aware. I'm not sure if discrimination laws count into that kind of stuff, but like,
well, it's definitely discrimination, right? You haven't been injected, so therefore
it
you
seems
are excluded.
that way. It's like I was standing in line for a sandwich a few weeks ago, and there was some guy behind me who I think he was a waiter or something, so he was already pissed off because he hasn't worked in a long time. He was like, I don't understand why vaccinations aren't mandatory. I was just and like I luckily I was at the front of the queue, so like I managed to leave pretty quickly. But I was like, can you imagine saying that about abortions? Like I can't.
Luckily, I left.
I do.
I got my mushroom baguette.
Yeah.
I fucked off.
Yeah. I'm gonna hate this. People are so fucking short-sighted with that stuff. It's like I still don't know what I think about a vaccine. Like I imagine, hopefully, it's all safe and everything like that. But I haven't had it, and I don't really give a shit one way or the other. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm up to date on my shots. I don't know. It just seems weird and so fucking short-sighted that you could say something like that. As though why I don't understand why people are allowed agency over their own body. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, not to get into it too much, but obviously there is like people don't have full agency over their own body, right? Like you can't kill yourself, for example. You can't perform surgery on yourself. You can't take specific medications legally, I guess. It's like there's already control over it, but saying something like why doesn't the government just enforce with military action everyone gets injected? You're like, well, that's pretty extreme.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense. Like, say if the government made it illegal to not do it, then that's the Ben Shapiro bit, isn't it? Of like, where's the gun against the head? Because if it's illegal, it's punishable by prison, so it's punishable by people taking you by force and putting you in a building.
Yeah.
So I guess if you made it illegal, it's putting a gun to your head. But yeah, depending on how serious they were taking it. But I'm seeing more and more like I find that the people being idiots are the people complaining about the people being idiots as much as it is about anything else. Like the term, it's political correctness. God, mad. I just go like, no, it isn't. It's fine. Nobody gives a shit. No. You're making it bigger than you think it's bigger than what it is, and that's making you annoyed at how big you think it is. Like, just go and make some baked beans, have a samosa, and chill the fuck out. There's entirely vegetarian options there.
Samosas aren't necessarily vegetarian.
I think samosas are, but like chicken samosas, I think have got meat in.
I think all the samosas I've had have got beef in them, like ground beef. Maybe I've been eating the wrong one.
Is that a mince pie? Does a mince pie have beef mince in it?
Could have been a pasty. Yeah.
Could have. What's an Eccles cake? It's raisins, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like it's pretending
communists.
to be a scone, I think, but it's not.
Scone's like a cupcake, but without the.
It's like
cake.
a bready muffin that's gone stale.
I don't care. The bread is good, but I've never been. Yeah, it's a baked goods, and is it savoury? Is it sweet? Is it salt?
It's food. It's just
samosa. Food. Yeah, just eat seeds and chill out. All the vegetarian options.
Yeah,
I've never been a big turkey guy. I'll put it that way.
I got
to replace meat.
I got more
beef
into turkey when I was like a few months back after I hit the
colonialist
doing the gym stuff, because ground turkey's meant to be really good. So I was just having like ground turkey and
not sky turkey
and rice and spinach or kale or something. Just chuck it all in a pan and have that for lunch, and it's nice, like high protein, low fat, all that shit.
Yeah, it's just dry. It's chicken's
it
just
is
as
dry.
fine.
Chicken is the
chicken
best.
And broccoli and chill the fuck out, as well as sunflower seeds. It's good to get that vitamin D. Anyway. Well, it's good to get vitamins, isn't it? I like vegetables. It's all good. Seeds and vegetables and chicken. I might stop. I think. Do you know what cholesterol numbers are?
No, I know. I don't care.
Well, I should, because like I broke my personal best for cholesterol, and that was. Let me figure out the numbers here. 1,000. I think it was nearly 10,000. No, 5,000% above safe. So I think it's because of a number of different things, but it's just like, oh, I could manage that. I could get that back down really quickly. It's just like, oh yeah, I might just stop eating beef because apparently beef is cholesterol. Then eggs were meant to be cholesterol, but then The Simpsons said it wasn't.
As far as I'm aware, and this is a completely non-professional, non-medical person, but I've heard a lot of people now saying that the cholesterol thing is just a pile of bullshit. Or that there's goods and there's bad. Like there's the one that a lot of people worry about actually doesn't matter at all. You just got to worry about the stuff that's blocking your heart.
Yeah, but I think that's meant to be cholesterol, isn't it? It's like Doritos, isn't it? They've got saturated fat and mono unsaturated fat.
Yeah.
So I remember being at uni and being like, is this good or is this bad?
Yeah.
I don't think it's good.
So I think saturated fat, again, is
fat.
one of those things that everyone was fucking ape shit about, but it's actually not. It's not that big a deal. But your polyunsaturated and your mono unsaturated and all that shit apparently is terrible for you.
And just keep to less than 10 grams of saturated fat a day. That's what I used to do.
Just if you can tell where it came from, eat it.
Poland. Eat it.
I mean, like, if you can tell, like, what it is, then the chances are it's not terrible for you. Like,
so if you saute a radish,
as long as it's considered food, like, you can't just be like, well, I know where that brick came from, so
eat it.
Eat it. Yeah, like Odd Job.
Be fine.
It wasn't Odd Job, was it? It was Jaws. He ate bricks.
Yeah, I think Jaws ate a brick. Yeah. Odd Job threw his hat.
Yeah, and
in the ring.
Yeah,
and
and
killed people.
Nicked that. Not nicked. He kidnapped that woman at Christmas, didn't he?
Did we talk about the new Bond?
No.
Yeah, there's a new Bond, but it's not going to be James Bond anymore.
Who is it? Jasmine.
It's political correctness gone mad. No, it's just like I think they're making a new Bond franchise instead of continuing the current one that they've got. And I can't remember what it was, but at the back of my mind, it's going to be like a female lead instead, on a different character, but in the same universe.
So what?
And it's just, exactly, it's one of those things where you go like, you're trying to make it sound like they're replacing James Bond, but they're not. They're just doing a spin-off the same way they did with The Bourne Ultimatum or, I don't know, any other action franchises. Predator.
Can we have a female Predator?
Well, he lives in the
the Alien was female,
village. I don't think I ever found out, actually.
I thought the Alien was female. I thought that was a big deal.
And Predator.
Whether she was or she wasn't, Sigourney Weaver was female.
Oh, you're talking about Alien. Sorry, I thought you meant talking about Predator, as in the alien in Predator.
Oh, no,
the Alien, the Alien Queen. Yeah, it was female. Obviously.
Yeah.
And then it had that weird mongrel child. It got sucked up. Spoiler alert, 1993, whatever it was. He sucked out of an airlock. Yeah, it was... I don't know, but they were really good films. Game over, man. Game over. Anyway, the Streets of Rage and rheumatoid arthritis and mushrooms aside, we've got some news this week. Yeah. We've... it's not necessarily the subject matter, it's just, I just find it funny. Another father-to-be from New York State has died after a device he was building for his child's gender reveal party exploded.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's because this has happened lots of times with gender reveal parties resulting in people making homemade pipe bombs and accidentally killing their families. Like, that's great. Anyway, that's just funny anyway. I mean, and it's not necessarily about gender reveal parties. It's just about people playing with explosives and being surprised when they explode. This explosive fucking exploded everywhere. All for a weird, like, family do. Like, I mean, I had a lot of family events that were like family discos. Did you have any such event, like working men's clubs?
Yeah. No, that does ring true.
Were you ever like, let's add a pipe bomb to this mix?
I mean, why would you not just? There's professionals that do this stuff, right? The same way there's professionals that make fireworks. Like, you must be able to...
But more than that, you could just buy already not fatally going to kill you by accident fireworks. You just get like a rocket that spits out blue smoke. I mean, it's just a smoke grenade.
Yeah.
But they add like gunpowder to it, so that it like poof, like shoots out like phosphorus or some shit.
Yeah.
Just have a smoke grenade. I mean, what is it about smoke? I don't know.
It's
Apparently, there's games you do beforehand, like guess the sex or guess the gender, whichever one it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what kind of weird game is this? Just shut up. And I'm not here to support you. I'm here because I have to be.
Yeah.
So, because I'm part of your friendship circle, and I've got to appease this smug side of you.
I didn't bring a gift, but I did bring this.
Yeah. I bought bandages for the explosive that you're going to be bringing.
Yeah.
But then everyone makes these stupid mistakes, right? I mean, we've done it with fire a lot, right? I remember I've done loads of stupid shit with fire, but I remember like round Jaws we'd have like a cabinet filled with vegetable oil or something that was in the middle of a bonfire that we were about to light.
Yeah.
Like an effigy of something.
Yeah.
Like that's probably the same as explosives, kind of, just a different variant.
Well, I remember putting those like roll-on deodorant things. I remember putting some of those on a fire, assuming because they were just in a box that I was throwing on the fire. And I was like, well, it's a plastic bottle. The plastic will just melt, but it didn't. Like the air in it expanded, and it fired the ball out of the end of it, like with like massive velocity. And by that point, the ball was on fire. So it's just like
it's just a cannonball.
Yeah. Yeah,
just,
really loud,
well, we put
really
a TV
powerful.
on the fire.
Could have easily killed somebody. Easily.
Oh yeah. But we put our old TV on the fire. And
yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, it did a countdown. Like there was a sudden noise of vacuumed air getting higher and higher and higher, and then it's boop. Like, we're alive. We're still alive. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Burn the TV. Put fireworks in cornflakes.
Yeah. In the bin.
Yeah, we've done stupid stuff with explosives as well. I guess it's the fact that they're parents, or they're going to be parents, you think like, now's the time to properly adhere to the safety rules when it comes to explosives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And now the father to
makes
be
it more ironic.
is no longer to be.
Dead. Yeah. Police have not specified what device caused Sunday explosions, but the police department and its bomb disposal unit are investigating. A spokesman said the device consisted of some kind of pipe, without giving further details. Oh, it was just pipes. Yeah. Speaking to the newspaper, Mr. Peckney's oldest brother, Peter Peckney. Well, we need to get the full story. Peter Peckney! Peter Peckney Jr., he's a Peter Peckney Sr., described what happened as the freakiest of freak accidents that I could ever imagine. Oh, was it freakier than the freak? The freakiest of the freak accidents.
Your brother's dead.
Explosives.
Oh, this is so freaky. The freakiest of the freaky.
Harsh,
freak.
Man, harsh.
My mellow.
Yeah, the freak. I mean, it's not freaky for explosives to explode.
No.
It's not. Even if he was, I mean, obviously freak accidents do occur with professionals in explosives, but it doesn't seem to imply that this guy was a professional or handled them professionally, so...
No.
Just, I don't know. You can buy gunpowder legally, right? I'm assuming that's true.
You can buy fireworks. It's got gunpowder in it.
But in America, there's you can't buy... Yeah, in America, there's certain states, at least there was when The Simpsons was on, in the 90s or the zeros, where certain states can't buy fireworks, the same as certain states can't gamble. But you can buy bullets, I'm pretty sure, most places, and bullets are just, gunpowder wallets, right?
Yeah.
So you just do that and empty that out. So yeah, I would expect everyone to at least be trained how to use gunpowder and stuff like that. Or at least take an online course. I was going to look into doing carpentry, and I gave up very shortly after. But I was like, I could build a bookcase. I haven't got any books. I could build a case. I was like, there's the deck in my garden was this badly done, so it needs redoing. And I was like, that could be an interesting project with my hands losing their senses. To start hammering wood and sawing shit. But I was like, I could probably do that if I had a step-by-step guide of how to set the foundations and shit. I was looking online for courses like that, and so I'm sure you could get that for pipe bombs. And if you are looking in the wrong places, the police are going to come.
The Anarchists Cookbook that's what that was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that was I think a kid at my school claimed to have it. I don't know whether he did or whether it was just I'm cool.
One of my neighbours, when I was a kid, he he found it like on the internet back when the internet was just like 4 pages, and like he printed it off and brought it into school, and he was like, "Steve, look what I've got." I didn't see him again.
Look what I got. I'm just going to pop into the garden. Can you hear helicopters and screaming children being taken away to Guantanamo Bay?
He got he got taken into like the headmaster's office, and his parents called and everything. And I think his dad was just like, just kids. Like,
Rose rapscallions.
Yeah.
Very Scooby-Doo mentality in it.
Yeah. He never had done anything. Just kids. Like, but knowing what he was like, he could potentially have done something.
Yeah, I think I unlocked a cheat code when I was a kid, I think, and that was just be confident, honest, and talk to them as if you're an adult, and people genuinely don't mind. Because if a kid's misbehaved, the parents understand that kids misbehave in general, but they need to make sure that the child knows what they did was wrong and that they don't do it again. So I remember I got sent to, I think it was this was like primary school, so I don't really remember it. And when I say primary school, I mean like year 1, year 2, something like that. I threw a stone at my friend, and he got really upset. And then I think I said I was just being a dick, and the headmaster was like, "Are you going to do it again then?" It's like, "Nah, I just felt like a dick that day. I won't be a dick anymore." Like, all right, fair enough. Like the tax it takes for adults to teach children moral lessons. There's do you know the moral lesson? Yeah. Okay, then. And do I believe you understand it? Yeah. All right. Well then, I don't know. Face the wall for an hour. I think that's what we do at school.
Yeah.
Or
I was a pretty quiet kid in primary school, but I did get yelled at by like a temporary head teacher.
Was he temporary because of you? You won't last long here. I've got the Anarchists Cookbook.
To be fair, he was quite a nice bloke. But I think I'd already gotten sat on my own at lunch, and I can't remember why. And then
it wasn't punishment, it was just the rest of your class just being honest.
Just yeah. Just separated onto this little table, and if you're on this little table, you get served last. So I was already hungry and bored, and I just bent my spoon and just put it back and just sat and looked at it, and and
I won't be needing this anytime soon. What? Not for the mushroom souffle that's coming my way.
And he marched over first, I guess, to figure out why I was there in the first place, which I can't remember. And then he saw the spoon. He was like, "Why have you done this?" I was just like, "I was bored." And he was "Bored?" And just bellowed across the hall. I was like, "Well, yeah."
I mean, it's a bit less boring now. There's a screaming man having lunch with me. But, hey,
pull up a chair.
Yeah, you're gonna need to bring your own spoon, mate.
Yeah, get the stool from the piano. We'll have a sit in.
It's a secret compartment in there. That's where I keep my pipe bombs for my gender reveal.
Yeah.
No, yeah, weird punishments in primary schools. But yeah, so freak accidents, killing people with pipe bombs.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of schools, actually, an entire California school board resigned after making disparaging remarks about families in a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
That they didn't realise the parents were already on the call with them.
Yeah, it was meant to be like a private meeting and someone had set it public or something like that.
But I mean, it's probably easier to resign. So the quotes that the teachers said while the parents were there were things such as, "They want to pick on us because they want their babysitters back." Another implied that parents wanted their children out the house so they could take drugs during the day. And then they were like, "Uh-oh, the meeting's open to the public right now." And then they hung up and loads of people quit.
Yeah.
But you've got to understand, I mean, I think people there's a certain demographic of society, right, that I think, I don't know how, I think you're in this bracket, but I don't know what you would classify it as, but like people who want to be part of a community, right? As in like your local community. So like support your local businesses and be friends with the teachers and the people on your road, that kind of thing. You know, normal, healthy, happy social people in a society. And I think like parents especially expect like the parents to be like these really nice people who love them. And it's like, you know, the parent's job is to fill all the holes that you failed at. Like, you know...
teachers, you mean?
Teachers are like, they're spending so much time with your kids to try and make them better than you could ever make them.
Yeah.
So,
well,
like,
I mean, they spend
them home
in the week probably as much time with your kids as you do, if not more.
Yeah, but even the time aside, like their time's more efficient, right? You're trying to teach them skills and teach them how to think and, you know, try and give them experiences. Whereas when you're at home, you're just like, here's your macaroni and cheese, go play Call of Duty and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's average parental household, I'd imagine, is parents work all day, so they're knackered. They're in no condition to teach their kids anything.
Yeah.
In the evening, they're maybe on holidays and whatever, whenever they get spare time. But teachers do carry a lot of the lifting, I'd imagine. Don't have kids, but I'd imagine that. So why would they like you?
Yeah.
Like, these... Like, I think it'd be great. I said a while ago that I think it'd be great to just be utterly blunt and aggressive to people, honestly, and just be like, of course we don't... Of course... Why do you want your kids to come to school? Why can't you teach your fucking kids?
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be a big revelation to anybody. I'd be worried if my teachers were heavily in love with me and my children.
That's just it. It's like, I mean, like, really the only thing you could possibly, like, realistically complain about is they should hold themselves more professionally when in public. Maybe that's an argument. But the fact that they didn't realise they were in public kind of shits on that. Because, like, what do you expect they're going to say in meetings? What do you say in meetings with your friends? Because that's essentially what it is. You can say it's a professional meeting, but these are people that they hang around with all day. These are the same people that they have to blow off steam with.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably parent WhatsApp groups, right, that bitch about teachers and bitch about condition in schools and stuff like that.
It's a bunch of people who are pretending to be, like, just fucking holier than thou. Like, and it's another fucking, like, gotcha moment on... Yeah. And, like, I'm not saying that you have to agree with what they said, because I don't personally. I think it's, like, I think... the whole kind of, it's just a bunch of people looking for their babysitters back. Yeah, and I think that's valid.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. It's just not up to the Californian customer service standard, I think it's basically.
Yeah.
You know, it hasn't got the same TGI Friday smile in a, birthday song.
They shouldn't lose their fucking jobs for saying something that they would have said anyway.
But then you just go, again, you go like, well, if they're the type of people to resign, then they shouldn't be in that position anyway. I'd have much more respect for a teacher who said, yes, I did say that you wanted to do drugs at home. If you want to talk to me about it, let's sit down and talk about it. But how about we talk about your child first? Yeah. I have much more respect for that person than somebody like, oh, now they know I don't like them, I'm going to quit. Well, like, just as much, I don't understand parents complaining. As
a parent, you are a customer to the school. If you've ever worked in a customer-facing environment, what do you say about customers?
Yeah.
Fucking heinous, awful shit. Because you just have to fucking get it off you.
But it's that same thing. It's the people see teachers as working for them, the same way that people see police as working for them. And it's like, no, the police don't work for you.
They work for the state.
They work for society. They work for society as a whole. They don't work for you, the individual. So if like the amount of people are like, I was speeding, but hey, you work for me and I'm telling you you're wasting your time. You're like, no, they're not working. They're working for everybody and you're a problem right now. Yeah. It's not about the individual. So it's probably like the same there with teachers. They're like, oh, these teachers don't even respect me. It's like, well, they probably don't, but they're not there to respect you. They're there to raise the education level of the society's children. Not just, allow you, not to be rude to you. Yeah. The Fallout, they said it's easy to hide behind their screen and put a comment down, but when you're face to face with people, it's a whole different ballgame. You weren't face to face with anybody.
No.
It was just a Zoom call. You overheard a conversation in a pub. The fallout resulted in more than 7,000 people signing a petition calling for their resignation due to egregious behaviour.
Oh, sorry, 7,000 people. How many pupils are there in that school?
About 20 million.
Yeah, right. If there's that's fucking ridiculous. That petition shouldn't have been open to anybody who fucking has no involvement with the school. It's got nothing to do with you.
I don't know. Yeah, let's petition these people who were. It's a power grabbing moment, isn't it? It's I want to tell these people were rude to me. I want to wield the power to end their jobs. It's pathetic. And just trying to find online people to do that. It's like, well, it's just insecurity again, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all for teachers calling parents twats or whatever it is. Like this, parents should understand that the real thing that's of value is their child's education. In other news. A mother with COVID-19 should be allowed to die against her family's wishes, a judge has ruled.
Yay.
She should be allowed to die. Even though her family wants her alive, I think she should be allowed to die. What does she say? Well, she's in a coma. Have we got her lawyer, fetal representative? No.
Wait, she's in a coma, and where is this?
I think it's somewhere... Like it's the UK, Leicester, NHS. Oh. Yeah. University Hospital of Leicester.
Should be allowed to die.
Yeah, so I think basically she's in a coma and it's not looking good. Even if she gets out of it, it's going to be brain damage, likely. So the NHS is saying, let's pull the plug.
Right.
Because even if she comes out of it, she's not going to have I don't know what the term they use is, right? But a fulfilling life.
Yeah.
So they should do it, but the family who are religious are saying only God should make that choice.
Right. Okay.
And the judge is saying, just let her die. Bang bang.
Bang bang.
The woman, who is in her early 30s, has been in an induced coma. Oh, so the hospital put her into a coma, and now they want to put her into the grave.
Put her in a coma. Now she's allowed to die.
Yeah. Progress. Since giving birth to a baby boy last month, the NHS Trust said her chances of survival were slim, and ending life support treatment was in her best interests. Okay. So, I don't quite know. I mean, if you've got a do not resuscitate, right? If she's got documentation that says if ever I was in a coma, pull the plug, or whatever these DNR stuff is, then fair enough. But if you just reckon that since you put her in a coma, she's fucked.
I reckon she'd be happy dead.
Who told you that? Oh, she told me. We got a bond.
Yeah.
We got a bond. Since I've been bathing her unconscious body, I suddenly understand.
Yeah.
So, fair enough, maybe. The woman's case was heard on Tuesday in the Court of Protection. I didn't know there was different courts for different... the Court of Grief. Or if it's just different themes like Power Rangers, where it's just the judge is a bit more, keeps hold of too many things. Very protective of all of his shit.
Melancholy.
Don't touch my gavel. That kind of shit. The woman's case heard, the Court of Protection, where issues relating people who lack the mental capacity to make decisions for themselves are analysed. It heard the woman was rushed to hospital with coronavirus at 32 weeks pregnant. Doctors delivered the son by cesarean shortly after she was admitted. I've got a quote here. I'm assuming it's from her doctors. It's 0 recovery chance.
Right.
So, it's just weird that you say it's with her best wishes in mind. You go no, it's because there's 0 chance of her recovering.
Yeah.
So why should we put the family through the pain of looking after somebody who isn't going to recover?
Yeah. As opposed to,
It's what she would have wanted.
Yeah. And to be cold about it. That space could go to someone who could recover.
Could go to someone who isn't in a coma.
Yeah.
Could go to someone who's accidentally been dropped from the FBI helicopter for having the Anarchists Cookbook.
Yeah.
Anarchists Cookbook.
Blown their arms off with a gender reveal pipe bomb.
It could go to an unannounced, ungendered, explosion-fataled baby. Explosion-fataled? No, there's a better word for that. chillax on your bed. So yeah, that's me this week.
Okay. So let's not do that one. In response to a recent rise in suicides, the Japanese Prime Minister has appointed a Minister of Loneliness to his cabinet.
What office should he have? The basement.
Yeah. I love my stapler.
Yeah.
It's the last
Oh,
straw.
it looks like we forgot to invite the Minister of Loneliness to this meeting again. He'll understand. And he's actually in the room. Actually, I'm here. Nobody says anything. It's a noble cause, I guess. I mean, it's weird that it's not like under the health thing, or like maybe like a mental health department, I guess.
Yeah.
Whether it's specifically
Minister
lonely.
of Loneliness. Specifically loneliness. The newspaper noted that Japan is familiar with loneliness, as kodokushi, or lonely deaths, are common. They involve people dying inside their homes and remaining undiscovered for long periods of time.
We need to come up for a term for this. This keeps on happening. Is it we have got bad response times to heart attack calls? No. It's just something else.
Yeah. Well, they said like
societal
16% of people over 60 feel like they don't have anybody, which is quite sad.
Yeah, for sure. But like, it's weird that now it's a political party.
Yeah.
I mean, when the elections come around, who's going to be the lonely minister?
Yeah. Well, hey, like
it's
it's a smart move. You've immediately got 16% of the vote. Boom. There you go. Hey, I'll be your mate. Just give me a call. Here's my number.
Yeah. No, it's a genuine thing, I think, especially with like older people as well. I mean, for younger people as well, but obviously this is a bit more predictable for older people, as everyone they love is dead.
Yeah.
Or they feel like they become useless, ineffective, or unable to be independent. Like, it makes sense, but it's another one of those weird things. Like, how do you solve loneliness? I guess it's the same question as how do you solve depression, right? Everyone's going to be different. Like, is it somebody coming round and giving you a sugary treat every week? Like, oh, everything's fine now. Or is it like you need to go bungee jumping or some shit?
Yeah. I don't know how you fix it. Like, it's a big it's a big cultural issue. But it's the same as they're like dropping like birth rate. Like, how do you fix that? How do you convince people to have kids? Come on, have kids.
Do it.
Like,
one day they could be the lonely minister.
It's a cultural thing. Like, it's part of your culture that's created that. You need to try and figure out what that is, but then accept that it's going to take another 50 years or whatever to start setting it right.
Yeah. I mean, I watched something recently that was talking about how it's not that long ago that we started living in houses on our own, as in like just your families, just like your wife and children. That's quite a new concept.
Oh, as opposed to your whole, like, your grandparents and like all of that.
Well, even like if people you work with, like you wouldn't buy a house to live on your own. You would just have a house that because everything needed so much management before technology, right?
Yeah.
So you'd have to have people like managing, the thatch on your roof, doing all this other kind of stuff, and like you'd have like loads of people in a house all at the same time, and there would only usually be one bedroom, and that was like you'd have one double bed for the owners of the house. Then you've got one in your nephew's bedroom, like a bed that slides out underneath.
Yeah.
Apparently that was a regular thing for servants to sleep on.
Oh, right.
And then, but yeah, you'd have all your kids in the same bedroom as you.
Yeah.
Your dogs, your eagles. Bring back the eagles. So like, there's probably a lot of different things that because of technology and that has made people be a lot more isolated.
Well,
so maybe the next step in technology and that is to kind of bring people closer together again. I don't know.
Yeah, somehow. But I just don't think there is a way that isn't just being physically next to each other. I think that's just going to be a gap that's never bridged. And it's not because technology's not good enough, so to speak, but it's just because we aren't evolving that quickly. Like, I think we'll always just need that contact.
Sure, but like, I mean, it's like maybe the next societal step then is to be a bit more in close proximity to family and friends.
Yeah,
because like I guess now, like, working remotely is now becoming more accessible.
Yeah.
So like a family working remotely from the same home, if the home is large enough, could be the thing that people aim towards in the future. You never know.
Yeah.
Lonely minister.
The minister of loneliness. In other news, Canada's Dairy Board are currently undertaking an investigation to find out why all the butter in Canada is mysteriously getting harder.
The rest of the world has got, global warming.
Yeah, global warming, global pandemic, but like...
Yeah, butter hardening. Is it snowing? Yes. Well, that's odd.
Maybe it's because it's cold.
Yeah. Is it because of Elon Musk's space shit? Could be.
Yeah.
Or the cows are being activated.
Many Atlantic Canadians have noted butter is harder, said Sylvian Charlebois, Senior Director of Dalhousie University's Agri-Food Analytics Lab. This has put the dairy sector on the defensive because it's obvious something's going on.
They've raised the butter armies. The soldiers and the eggs come together.
Summit's up. Summit's wrong. Yeah.
He's got a villain name, and it does sound like, how like, every year, at the end of the financial year, like all the different departments have got to get their budgets maxed out so they get the same budget next year.
Yeah.
They're probably like, we need to find something that allows us to just sit around eating buttered toast.
Yeah.
For another year. The buttons get a bit harder, and then just like it just escalates so much more than they had ever planned. They've just got to go along with the lie.
Yeah,
it's getting harder.
It's an epidemic.
Yeah. Is this the Canada strain of the coronavirus, where it's suddenly making all of the glue inside the butter and cheese get harder?
Why have you got glue in your cheese?
Maple syrup, then. Fine, whatever it is. Quick, we need to get Colin Mockery on the line.
While some believe that palm oil is being added to cow feed, microbiologist Keith Warriner believes that there is another explanation, stating if you process butter too quickly, it can be too hard. So, maybe we're too efficient.
Maybe we're just in a rush to get home for the next series of Homeland.
Yeah.
Just let us quickly finish this and then get home.
Emeritus professor, I don't know what emeritus is, but I'll look it up. I should have done that before. Emeritus Professor David Christensen said that part of the problem is that no one is actually measuring the hardness of butter, so it could just be rubbish.
Again, it's a tennis match of escalation.
Yeah.
Well, the butter's getting hard. Well, it could be the feed. Well, it could be the machines. Well, actually, nobody's even looking at the data.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, that was his saying. He was just like, well, no one's actually measuring how hard the butter is. Someone's just been like, oh, the butter's getting harder. And everyone's been like, yeah, I think it might be.
Oh my God.
But there's no tests. There's nothing. And it's just spread throughout Canada.
Well, it's a distraction, isn't it, I guess?
Yeah.
Like, if you thought, like, well, it could be whether it's distracting. I'd find it distracting, but other people might find it alarming. I mean, if you found out that slowly your food was gaining a more solid mass to rise up against you, maybe that might be like, I need to get more. Forget about the polar bears on the streets in Canada. We need to arm ourselves against, I don't know, butter brand Benecol, big Benecol, the secret butter or non-butter army. I can't believe it's not butter. Who were they? I don't know. Margarine, the margarine butter wars. Could be.
Yeah. In other news, and lastly, a woman in Alaska is currently recovering after being bitten by a bear on the arse while on the toilet. She's
okay.
Yeah. She says
what type of bathroom was she in? That's a certain type of feng shui.
She said that she felt something bite her on the arse immediately after sitting down on the outhouse toilet, but assumed it was a squirrel or a mink.
Oh, that's fine then. I'll just shit on this squirrel. Oh wait, it's a bear. I didn't want to shit on a bear.
Upon hearing her screams, the woman's brother ran over with a head torch to see what was going on. He said, I opened the toilet seat and there's just a bear face just right there at the level of the toilet seat, just looking up through the hole, like right at me. So just, oh.
This is a whole other form of that Pornhub Stiefbruder phenomenon. Bear in the toilet.
I just shut the lid and said, there's a bear down there. And then they went back to their yurt.
How queer. Let's get back to what we were doing. Anyway, as I was saying.
I still need a wee.
Yeah. Well, just put a sign up, bear occupied by bear for now.
Yeah. Well, so they think it's just gone into like the pit to hibernate in the winter.
Yeah.
And just, yeah.
Check for bear before doing anything.
I'd expect like a snake or a mouse or like a rat, just something like that.
Yeah.
But if I opened the toilet and saw a bear, that'd make my day, I think. Like,
I mean, it's exactly. It sounds ridiculous, but to me, it's the same as opening up the toilet seat and seeing a full-sized aeroplane. You'd be like, "What the fuck? Like, what's that? What is this?"
Well, this is against all kinds of health and safety problems, I think.
Hey, bro, help! There's a plane in the toilet. There's that Malaysian flight in the toilet pit. Oh, well. Yakety yak. Don't talk back.
I found that 747 that went missing.
Yeah, I think I shit it. Different societies, I guess.
Yeah.
Different societies.
It's Canada, isn't it? They're just very polite. It's not, well, it's Alaska, but it's practically Canada.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got like alligators coming up through pipes and snakes coming up through pipes in places like Florida.
Yeah.
So it's not like, I mean, a bear would be more impressive, but an alligator's pretty, I guess it's probably a small alligator, isn't
But
it?
at least alligators, like, oh yeah, okay, alligator in the water. Like, at least there's some relation there. Like, I think just a bear. What? It's somewhat unusual.
It's awkward.